5 key reasons why your WordPress site is slow. If your site fails to load fast, your business is most certainly losing money. Did you know that a slow website does not only affect your on-site conversion rate, but it is also damaging to your search engine visibility in general? Here are the key reasons why your WordPress site is slow and how to fix them. Number 1. Unreasonably large image files. The smartphone in your pocket is great for taking selfies, but it does not provide you with the perfect to publish photo files that you could use on your website. You should not use the original image file in your posts, which you upload to WordPress Media, unless you have specifically compressed it for the web. If you upload your large image files to WordPress, then it automatically generates copies from these image files in different sizes. These generated images are not as heavy and load therefore faster for the visitors. You should also leverage the power of image compression, a process of converting or encoding an image file in such a way that it consumes less space than the original file, but without degrading its quality. Number 2. Too many HTTP requests and assets loaded in vain. Before you try and fix this issue with yet another plugin, please stop right there. Instead, it would be wise to move in the other direction and get rid of all the unnecessary plugins which you don't need. The same goes for inactive plugins and themes. Inactive plugins and themes may seem harmless as they are inactive, but getting rid of these might also make your site faster. Another problem is loading scripts where they are not needed. Is your contact form loading on every page? Do you need it everywhere? Though these files might be quite small in general, and they might not even be the problem for you right now, it's nevertheless a great idea to remove them along with other superfluous files. The problem is that if you skip doing this sort of upkeep on your website now, then in the future you might be forced to as the site becomes slower in time. We spoke about how to make images lighter, but even if they are made lighter, they still carry weight, and therefore loading them in a much smarter way by using a lazy loading technique is a great way to go. Only loading non-critical, below-the-fold images and iframes when the user is likely to see them improves page loading times, minimizes user bandwidth, and reduces memory usage. Number 3. Web servers that are slow or lack HTTP2. The chances are almost equal, 50-50, that your server is not running HTTP2, and this is a must, as the new standard had been proposed already back in 2015. But many server providers are still using the HTTP 1.1, which is the standard introduced back in 1997, and it was never designed to render such loads as we have these days. Use webpagetest.org to learn if your server is using HTTP2. If not, change your hosting provider. Number 4. The caches are not working as they should. A website holds a lot of files that your browser needs to download before it can be displayed on the client side. Every time you refresh the page or click on the link, your browser has to reload, and therefore re-download, all those files again. This is where cache comes into play. When you use plugins that sets cookies, then, usually using the cookies, is assigned to the browser not to cache anything. Cookies track information on how often the user visits the website. When does he do that? Does he have items in the shopping cart? Etc. This is the way the presented information can be customized to meet the visitor's expectations. So, cookies are used to improve the individual experience, but quite often people use too many cookies for some completely different use cases, and then they break caches. Some people don't use caching at all, and just add more on the server side, which is not an optimal solution as this will consume more energy and will be a burden on the environment. Go green, go caching. Number 5. The code is doing too much. Typically, developers don't test their plugins with large amounts of data, and the code they create might work well on small sites, but as the sites grow, all problems related to excess data manipulation become visible. To know what the code is doing, you need access to your code itself, which allows you to do code profiling. There are tools that help visualize changes in the site production code performance over time. You can also easily study the hierarchy of functions in the table format or in the tree structure. These days, almost any website is loading additionally to their own functions, also third-party functions from different servers. Are those external loading functions taking too much time? This is something that you should look into when you dig deeper into code. This video was based on the more detailed article, 5 Key Reasons Why Your WordPress Site is Slow. You can find this article along with many other resources from Seravo.com.